Welcome to ECN Trade Daily Video. Before we begin, it should be noted that any advice is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration.
Hello everyone, my name is Rob Clayton and thank you for joining me. The Australian dollar has extended its advance, posted its strongest level in roughly 3 months as the broad US dollar weakness continues to drive demand. The Aussie has pushed higher despite last week's softer employment results, suggesting the global dollar story is currently outweighing domestic concerns. Attention now turns to the RBA minutes this week, followed later in the week by the Australian monthly CPI, which is a key point, and do keep an eye on that. Also in the US, Fed Chair Kevin Walsh will be attending the Jackson Hole speech on Friday with all the major events, with global markets looking for guidance on whether recent softer data is enough to keep the Fed on hold of rising rates. Keep an eye on the technicals though, because although we've seen some strong gains, the RSI is showing bearish divergence, but the MACD and the AEDX does slightly outweigh this, and the top side could be somewhere around the region of 71.80 to around 72.35. Turning to Euro, we have two questionable candlesticks being gravestone dojis, and therefore could see some weakness coming into play along with the RSI being somewhat overbought. If so, we could see the market back away from 117 figure 20 and look down towards the lows around 115.70, 75 and reassess. After showing a very heavy slide, dollar yen is again recovering, even though the market will be increasingly nervous as we get closer to the Bank of Japan's rate decision. Thursday's appearance by the Deputy Governor in Japan is particularly important, with traders looking for signs that the BOJ is moving closer to another move at September's meeting. Intervention pressures has also weighed on the market and therefore still looks to the downside, I feel, where we saw this stab at 155. Sterling, well, the market is pushing higher and overbought and an overheated ADX. Now questions whether we may see profit taking around 136.65 or just a touch higher to 137, and if so, could see the pullback to around 135.5. A very impressive rally when it comes to gold and posting more than 5% last week. Given the fact the market reached its topside targets around 4,500 and extending, I have a neutral view at the moment, just in case we see a snap to the downside. We also got to keep an eye on data coming out of the US that could weigh on the market too, as we see this rally showing a bit of divergence here. And posting oil weakness, well, the market could see a little bit of a slide this week back to around 82.70.90 before the bounce back to $86 and reassess from there. Well, that's about. Thank you for joining me. As always, look out for the intraday report. Hope you enjoy the great start to the new week.